Good morning, council member. There's a rumor that today's your birthday.
I'm in complete denial, but yes, it is.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
It's good to see that you finally reached the age of 50.
Yes, that's true. Many years ago. However, I don't feel my age, so that's okay. And as my kids say, it's just a number, Mom. Yeah, but it has some significance. In any case, my very, very rich Social Security check, for example.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, hold on a second. The council member is calling. So, Councilmember Che, my parents used to give me a check on my birthday in an amount equal to my age, which a couple of years ago, meaning before inflation of the last decades, was substantial.
Inexpensive.
If your kids are going to make light of, well, it's just another number, tell them to write a check for the amount of your age. And each of them could do that.
No, it only goes one way in my family. The checks are written by me and delivered to them. So.
And my grandfather used to give me, I think it was $1 for an A and a quarter for a B, something like that. I never got any dollars. I'm not even sure I got any quarters.
Uh-huh.
And then he passed away, so it was of no use anyway. So I should have just dropped out of school.
Good thought.
What's that, Brooke?
I said, happy birthday, Mary.
Yes, thank you very much.
It's a great day.
Actually, it's not bad. Not bad. I've come to terms with my senior status. So anyway.
Are we recording yet?
Yes, we are. So watch out.
Hold what I was going to say next.
Is your presence here, Mr. Chairman,
Good morning, everybody.
extra voting power?
Happy birthday to Mary Che.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I think there was a quorum concern, and my view is once I'm asked to be present, I stick to it. So
Okay.
I'd be needed, but I'm still here anyway.
For you, Mr. Chairman, we appreciate that.
Thank you. I appreciate me too.
And I appreciate us having a full complement of the committee. And I don't want to take more time than is necessary. So staff, whenever you all are ready, I'll take a countdown and we can begin.
Can begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning. My name is Kenyon McDuffie. I'm council member for Ward 5 and chair of the council's Committee on Business and Economic Development. Today is Thursday, June 2nd, 2022, and we are reconvening this meeting of the committee virtually via Zoom. We're also streaming live on YouTube. The time is 10:37 a.m. I'm calling this meeting to order. For the record, I'd like to note that we have a quorum which consists of myself. We have Ward 2 Councilmember Brooke Pinto, Ward 3 Councilmember Mary Chey, Ward 6 Councilmember Charles Allen. We have Ward 7 Councilmember Vincent Gray, and we're also joined by Chairman of the Council of the District of Columbia, Phil Mendelson. The committee met last Wednesday, May 25th, to mark up 3 measures. Following discussion and approval of 2 measures, the committee broke for a recess. Today, the committee will consider and vote on the remaining measure from last week's meeting, proposed resolution 24-627, the Emil Thompson confirmation resolution of 2022. The proposed resolution was introduced on March 14th, 2022 by Chairman Mendelson at the request of the mayor and referred to the Committee on Business and Economic Development on March 15th, 2022. The committee held a public roundtable on this proposed resolution on May 18th, 2022. The resolution will confirm the appointment of Emil Thompson to the Public Service Commission as a member with experience in electric grid modernization and renewable energy integration or technology, and it would designate Mr. Thompson as the chairperson of the commission. Mr. Thompson was first appointed to the Public Service Commission in April of last year, replacing Greer Gillis for the remainder of her unexpired term, which will end on June 30th of this year. In December of last year, the mayor appointed Mr. Thompson to serve as the interim chairperson for the Public Service Commission. Prior to this role, Mr. Thompson was employed as an assistant United States attorney in the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia and served as a principal member on the DC Water Board of Directors. He's also worked in the Bowser administration as senior counsel, senior advisor, and chief of staff to the Deputy Mayor for Public Safety and Justice. Award for resident, Mr. Thompson received a Bachelor of Science degree in computer science with minors in math and biology from Morehouse College and a JD from the Wake Forest University School of Law. Is there any discussion? I'm going to go first to Ward 3 Councilmember Mary Chey, followed by Ward 6 Councilmember Charles Allen.
Thank you, Chairperson McDuffie. As I said last week when we took this up, I'll be voting present on Chairman Thompson's renomination to the PSC. And once again, let me preface this by saying that I have great confidence in Chairman Thompson. It's clear that he's smart, he's capable. It's also clear that he takes the climate crisis seriously and that he's committed to moving the commission forward on clean energy issues. And he's fully capable of ensuring the commission does its part to help us meet our climate goals. However, Chairman Thompson does not, in my opinion, meet the criteria the council required for the seat he's filling. The legislation we passed last fall requires that the next individual nominated to an open seat on the PSC have experience in electric grid modernization and renewable energy development. Although I have no doubt that Chairman Thompson has been exposed to these issues over the past year of serving on the PSC, the intent of the legislation, which we all know, was to require that the nominee have prior career experience in these fields outside of and prior to their service on the commission. I had thought and hoped really that a reappointment to the commission would not be governed by the statute, but General Counsel advises us that that is not the case, that it is covered. Because I believe in Chairman Thompson's abilities, his thoughtful approach, his understanding of clean energy goals and commitment to fulfilling the role in helping us achieve those goals, I am not going to oppose his nomination. But I do believe we have to make clear, and it's important to note and make a statement about the fact that the mayor cannot simply sidestep the laws that the council puts in place. So that's why I can't vote yes today. I will be voting present. Thanks.
And I'm going to turn next to Ward 6 Councilmember Charles Allen.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I do appreciate bringing the nomination before us. And while I've seen Commissioner Thompson serve this role diligently and with integrity, my main concern is specifically that he is now being advanced as filling the seat reserved specifically for expertise in grid modernization and renewable energy integration. While I'm confident Mr. Thompson's had exposure to these topics in his brief time on the commission, his entire career prior to joining the commission had been in public safety and criminal justice. I would have no problem, for example, voting for him to fill a seat requiring that specific expertise, but I do have trouble accepting that he is an expert on topics that he's only recently begun exploring. Further, the mayor plainly did not nominate Mr. Thompson to fill the grid modernization seat. There's no mention of the legal requirement in the mayor's submission. In fact, the legal requirement is not included in the most recent announcement of an opening for a PSC commissioner. With any other seat that requires a certain expertise, the mayor's submission makes clear what the seat nominee is filling. I and the public did not have any notice that Mr. Thompson was being nominated for that purpose. I assume this must be because the mayor interpreted the law how the council intended. The legislative history of the emergency and the temporary legislation that creates a requirement for grid modernization experience explicitly states that it was not the council's intent for the requirements to apply to current commissioners. And at the time the measure was approved, Mr. Thompson was a sitting commissioner. In fact, the mayor's submission and the committee print on the resolution both say Mr. Thompson is being nominated for reappointment as a member in designation as chairperson of the Public Service Commission. If the resolution is now stating that Commissioner Thompson is the nominee to specifically fill the seat for grid modernization, then I cannot vote for Mr. Thompson to fill that specific seat, though I certainly support Mr. Thompson's renomination to the PSC. The reason the council clearly stated our intent not to apply the new requirements to sitting commissioners is that we've already debated the merits of those commissioners' appointment to the PSC. During the vote on his nomination, I expressed that I was confident in Mr. Thompson's ability to learn on the job, and I remain confident in that. But over the years, I've met with interested candidates who had prior and extensive expertise who wouldn't be learning on the job. And the mayor, time and again, just passed over those candidates. That's why the council ultimately created a requirement for expertise in grid modernization, because for whatever reason, these very qualified people weren't receiving nominations to the seats that would directly benefit district residents tremendously, as well as meet our dire climate action needs. So a majority of the council decided that the mayor needed more direction when filling an empty seat. I believe that Mr. Thompson is smart, is capable, is diligent, and I have seen nothing in his time on the PSC that suggests he should not continue to serve. I support him continuing to serve. However, I cannot affirmatively support the confirmation of Mr. Thompson to a seat that he was not nominated for, and I will be voting present today. I also look forward to working with my colleagues to see if we can determine what the best path forward is here. Thank you, Mr. McDuffie.
And thank you, Mr. Allen. I'm going to turn next to Ward 2, Councilmember Brooke Pinto. Councilmember Pinto.
Thank you, Chairman McDuffie. I've come to know Mr. Thompson as a thoughtful and dedicated public servant who understands the responsibility, the huge responsibility he holds as chair of the Public Service Commission in our fight to combat climate change. He's taken time to meet with and listen to the concerns of environmental advocates and has demonstrated a commitment to using all tools available to him to ensure district residents have affordable, reliable, and sustainable utilities. And I look forward to continue to work with him. And I'm planning on supporting his nomination today, but I am happy that the record is clear about the requirements that we intended to put in place. At least I, and it sounds like everybody, intended those requirements to be for the next nominee. And so hope that we can work with our colleagues after this vote to clarify the level of experience we're hoping to see for the next nomination. But I am supporting Mr. Thompson's renomination today. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Pinto. Councilmember Benson Gray.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I too want to indicate my support for Mr. Thompson at this stage. My initial exposure to him was through Paul Quander, who of course was once our deputy mayor for public safety and justice, and who did a sterling job in his role, and unfortunately passed away soon after he finished his stint with the District of Columbia. So I am pleased to be able to support him today, and we'll look forward to his working with him to be able to make this a very successful experience for him. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. And thank you to my colleagues for your comments. I'm going to ask whether there's any further discussion at this point. Hearing none, all those in favor? Well, actually, I move the draft committee report in print for staff to make technical, editorial, and performance changes. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And
Mr. Chairman, please record me as voting present.
And Mr. Duffy, please record me as voting present.
okay, and the record will reflect that there is 4 ayes, and council members Che and Allen will be marked as present. The measure is approved. The time is now 10:48 a.m. There being no further business before the committee, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.